Hi, this is Shanna with Florabella Collection, and in this video I'll be using the new Trinity Photoshop actions to show you how I edited this image in both color and black and white. Here is the before image, then we have the color and the black and white. So the first thing I'm going to do for the color edit is run an action called Indian Summer. Don't let the initial effect of this action fool you because you have to play with the options. So I'm just going to go ahead and click continue. It's telling me to play with my options. And those options are the matte, the haze, and the blue layer. And then I'm going to go in and adjust the opacities. The first thing though that I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my lighten layer because I want to lighten this up quite a bit to about 42 or so. And already that helps a lot. So there's the before and after. It gives it a real pretty warm, soft, hazy, vintage autumn tone. So looking at the matte, I think I'm going to bring that up and make the image more matte. I'm going to bring that all the way up to about 100. And the haze is just fine. I don't want it any hazier than that. The blue layer, I feel like it's a tad too yellow, so I'm going to bring that up maybe about 90 or so. And I don't want that much blue on the face, so I can go in here and just grab my black on about 25 or so and just decrease the blue layer just a tiny bit. I can also go down and see what this layer does. This is the sun color tone, and I feel like that's a little bit too much on her face as well, so I'm going to go ahead and just erase a little bit of that on her skin. If you feel like you made a mistake, go back to white and just paint back with white to reveal that layer. Okay, and that already looks really pretty. The Indian Summer action, like all of the all-in-one actions, does come with a black and white option. I can tell that I'm going to love this image in black and white. But I need to do a couple more things. I want to do some retouching here. So I'm going to go down in my Trinity set and just use the blush brush, the rosy blush brush. And I'm going to paint with white and just paint some on her cheeks. Make sure you have a soft brush. You can click your backslash key to see where you've painted. Her right cheek over here already has quite a bit of color, so that's why I'm painting more on the left. And I'm just going to ease that up till it looks natural. I'm going to go back over with black at a lower opacity and just remove a little bit right here. I can also use this action. I'm going to run it again so I have separate layers and more control, just to make her lips pop a little bit more. You can also use the blush brush on clothes or on foliage, different areas that are already blush toned if you want to make them more. I'm going to go ahead and flatten real quick before and after. Flatten that now. And I'm going to run an action called Gloss Finish. If you ever uploaded to Facebook or online and your image just looks a little more drab than it looks in Photoshop, this is going to be your best friend, because what it does is it just takes that gray, filmy sort of haze that digital images can have sometimes, and it just gives it that boost that it needs. You can open that group, and this layer gives highlights. There's a vibrance layer, a little bit of contrast, and then there's a cream layer. It's just creamy light. So I'm going to reduce the highlights down to about 60, and I'm going to reduce the cream down a little bit, and then I'm going to play with the overall opacity. That's brighter and more dramatic, and then back to our original. So I'm going to keep that at about 65 or so. And I'm going to flatten. Now, if you want to retouch her eyes, maybe make the whites a little bit whiter or the lashes a little sharper, I don't think her irises need to be sharpened too much. For the web, I'll be using a resize and sharpen action that I think will do just well with that. Her skin, maybe just the noise reduction and smoothing action from Trinity. Okay, and I'm going to go in with my black brush. I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to take it to 100% opacity. And I'm going to erase the noise reduction from her eyes because I want her eyes and her brows and her lips to be super sharp. And it's probably hard to tell on the video, but that right there just smoothed out her skin enough. She's, young, so she has smooth skin. I'm going to flatten. And the only other thing I might do is just work on her eyes a tiny bit, and I'm going to go into the Workflow and Retouch brushes, which is an add-on set for the Trinity set that you can get. It's optional. So I'm going to go up here to the eyes, whiten eye whites. I'll run that really quick with my white brush. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to paint a little bit here, lower opacity. And that's just going to get rid of any color casting. If you accidentally paint that on the iris, you're going to want to switch and go back and erase that. Okay, that's too bright. So what I would likely do is bring the entire opacity down, or just come in here and play with the lighten layer. Just want to ease it down and work it up until it looks natural. I think that looks good. And the only other thing I might do is just use the sharpening brush, or there's also an eye quick sharpen brush for lashes. But I would just use either one of those just to sharpen up her lashes. You can use this on the irises as well, but in this case, I think her irises are sharp enough. And I'm just going to bring that up to about 35%. So there we have our color edit. And now I'm going to show you the black and white. So for the black and white, you could use that optional layer at the top of the Indian Summer to click on a black and white. That was a real soft, sweet black and white. We already flattened, so I'm not going to show that to you again. Or you could come in here to your color edit, and you can go down into the black and white section of Trinity, and you can click Instant Custom Color Black and White. And that action I use frequently on top of images that are already color edited. So you've got your image edited in color, and you just want to quickly convert to black and white. You can open that up and you can tweak that. You can add some matte, you can add some haze, matte and haze. There's a lot of different options in here. You can make it deeper. You can come up with almost any black and white effect, and that actually looks really pretty. So you can play with that, or you can run one of the all-in-one black and white actions. And on this image, I love the two different actions. One is called Black and White Onyx. I'll show you that one first. That just gives it a real deep, dramatic, beautiful black and white. There's an optional layer at the top called Bright Dodge Brush, and you can come in here. Well, you can go down to the brighten shadows, and you can brighten up the shadows. I'm not super wild about the shadow under the hat, but you can also come up here and brighten it up too. You can use it to highlight hair, shoulders, maybe a little bit on her shirt, but it's super fast and easy. There you go. Alternatively, we can run probably my favorite black and white action besides Onyx, and that is Black and White Promise. And this is a super dreamy black and white. Very matte, filmy. There are two optional layers. There's the haze at the top. If you turn that off, it's another gorgeous, contrasty, rich, dramatic black and white. You can ease that down a little bit. Here's the matte tone. You can increase that, make it even more matte and hazy. I like it just about where it is at 5. And of course, you can brighten it up. You can change the vignette but I kind of like it just like that. Super dreamy. And here's the difference between that and the Onyx. That's the Onyx, and then that's the Promise and the color edit. So the Trinity set, which includes color, light, and black and white actions, along with some tools and finishes, is available at florabellacollection.com. Thanks for watching.